So we have lesson 32. In my book it is page 138 and the title is How to Have a Happy Marriage. I will just give general advice. I will not go much into detail. That's not my part. Father Peter is doing it every Saturday. I just would like to give you some advice, and it's a normal continuation of what we have seen last week and 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago. Okay, it's normal. If we know that marriage is something important, that it is a sacrament, that it is beautiful, that there are some rules, we will easily understand what is following here. You have a beautiful example of marriage in the book of Tobias. It's very sad the Protestants have removed it from their Bible, so they have removed a beautiful example from their life. Read the book of Tobias. It's short and it's really instructive. It's beautiful about almsgiving, first of all, and beautiful teaching about almsgiving, about marriage, and about how our guardian angel is taking care of us. So first advice, there are a series of advice I would like to give. This book is giving 20 advice, but there are many others that you can receive. I will give you a more spiritual advice and advice of common sense. I will not give you the advice your parents will give you. Everybody will advise you his way. This is the voice of the church today. First of all, have the correct attitude. When you want to marry someone or when you are married already, you need to have the correct attitude. It means look upon marriage as a very holy union, founded by God and raised to the dignity of a sacrament by Jesus Christ as a means of saving your soul. There is a lot, we could spend 1 hour to comment on that. Look at it, the marriage is something holy. Okay? It's not something bad, it's not something, no, it's good to marry. It's good. God wanted it, and it is what is happening for most of the human beings in this planet. And it's good, it's a sacrament. And the goal of it is to give grace, and to help you to do your duty, and therefore to go to heaven. The goal of marriage is to go to heaven. And maybe that we forget it too often. Marriage should help us to go to heaven. That's why we have a sacrament for it. So we need to have that in mind from the beginning. Okay. If I marry someone, it is because I want to go to heaven, ultimately, at the end of my life. If I know that this person will not help me to go to heaven, why do I marry her? Okay, it doesn't make sense. This marriage, from the day I marry someone, I know that I will not go to heaven alone. I will go with my wife or my husband, and I will go with all the children God will give me. It will be, we will go together to heaven. I will not go alone. And it's a beautiful adventure, if I may say. And this is the goal of marriage. And the ultimate goal of everything is to go to heaven. Number 2, have the correct purpose. So it's linked to number 1. Look forward to having children and founding a Christian home. You remember the goal of marriage is to have children and to educate them. So this is why we marry. We don't marry because we are selfish. We don't marry because I know if I marry this person I will get her land or his land, and I need a land. We have many examples in the history of such weddings, and we still have them today. People marry because they want the land, or they marry because they find the other one very beautiful, but after 10 years the beauty will disappear. 30 years the beauty will disappear. Only the soul will remain. So we need to have the correct purpose. The purpose is, why do I marry? I want to go to heaven, and I want to have a family with children. I want to educate them, to give children to God, so that to give worshippers in heaven. People who marry for selfish reasons, money, pleasure, beauty, fame, influence, very seldom, if ever, find happiness in marriage. Yeah, we don't marry because of money. Okay, I'd like to take this example because it's a bit shocking, but it's true. You know, you have sometimes you see a very young Nigerian boy of 25 years old who fell in love with an old lady from Belgium of 80 years old. What does he want? Why does he want to marry? The children, too late. Okay, she's 80. Okay, she's not even beautiful. So why do it? Because she's rich. And we see that often, very often. This is not to have the correct attitude. Okay, you just want the money, and we don't marry for this reason. If it is for pleasure only, it's not good too. It's not good too. A wedding, marriage, and those who are married, they know it. It's also a school of chastity, and we don't do what we want when we are married. There are sometimes some crosses, some problems we can have, and we need a lot of self-control, even in married life. Beauty after 30 years. We are not we don't look like the way we were when we went 20. It's a fact. It's a fact that if we just marry for beauty, we will change every 2 years of partner because we will be disappointed. Fame and influence. Maybe today you are famous, tomorrow you will be not famous anymore. So we need to have the correct purpose. I marry because I want to go to heaven and I want to give life to children that I will educate the Catholic way so that they can go to God. This is why we marry. Therefore, number 3, we should not marry for selfish reasons. Genuine happiness is attained only by those who are completely generous and ready to sacrifice themselves in all things. Generosity is maybe the virtue we need the most in marriage, generosity. If we want to be happy, especially in the married life, we will need a lot of generosity. And it will start from the first day, and when the first child will come, you will have to wake up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. because the baby is crying, and you cannot get upset and say, tell your wife, go away in another place with the baby, I want to sleep. You will have, maybe if you are the man, to take care of the baby yourself and to allow your wife to rest a little. Marriage is a school of generosity. We don't live a selfish life. The husband has to help his wife, the wife has to help her husband. The wife is the best friend of her husband and the husband is the best friend of his wife. We need a lot of generosity in marriage, and most of the problems we have are coming because of selfishness. I want to do my own things, I want to relax, but the family should come first. The family is more important than our individuals. So we should not be selfish. Number 4, study what marriage is. That's why we have wedding classes before the wedding. But even after, it's good to continue learning. Marriage is like a career, if you want, requires specialized knowledge, and this is obtained through study and prayer. We have wonderful Catholic family groups in Nairobi. They are there. And it's good to belong to one of them if it is possible. If you don't know them, you can ask me, I can direct you. But of family who comes together to study their vocation, to see how they can improve on specific point, to share their problems also, and see how they can face this and this problem with charity, with a Catholic attitude. So we have the marriage instructions coming before the marriage from a priest. And also it's good to read about the duties and graces of Catholic marriage. And it is what we are doing right now, actually. But even it's good to, there are some Catholic family group, and sometimes it's good to attend their conferences and also to meet other families. Remember, alone we are weak. We need friends, we need people to share with them, and so that we can receive many good ideas to face our daily challenges. Sometimes you have a problem and you think you are the only one on this planet to have it. No, there are 10 families living next to you, they have the same problem. Did you think of speaking with them and maybe you will receive good advice and get out of your problems very quickly because you will get that answer that you need. Alone we are weak. We need to be surrounded by, even in marriage, with good friends, good Catholic families. And if you don't have this support from good friends, good Catholic families, you might be influenced by other people who are not good examples. So we really need to have this support. That's why we have Catholic parishes. We also need to pray. This is the 5th advice. Pray for a happy marriage. You should pray every day for a happy marriage, because most probably you will save your soul or lose your soul as a married person. Yeah, it is as a married person that you will go to heaven or to hell. It will not go as an individual. The goal of marriage is to go to heaven, not to go to hell. To go to heaven, we need to live a good life. We need to be in a state of grace. For that, we need to pray. And because we are now a family, we should not pray alone. I will repeat it many times during this lesson. We should pray with the family. The husband and the wife should be praying, should be kneeling together. There is nothing more beautiful than to see a family going to Mass together. Husband and wife go to Mass together. Okay. Sometimes, for some reason, we cannot. Okay, maybe because the husband will go at 9 and the wife at 11, maybe, but that should be exceptional. A family should attend Mass together. The husband and the wife together, and the children with their parents. Do not give your children to other people so that they can take care of them. Your children should be with you at Mass, and you follow Mass with them. When the children become teenagers, now that's another problem. They want to be very far as possible from their family. It's fine, okay, let them breathe. They know how to follow Mass already. Okay. But tell them to go to the choir loft, to go and serve Mass. As long as they're following Mass, it's good. But especially for the small children, go to Mass with them. Okay. Even go with the baby. Okay. If the baby is in good health, don't wait for the age of 4, 5 to bring him to Mass. It's from the very beginning. We need to build strong habits in the souls of these children. And if they see you praying together, husband and wife, they will follow you. But if they just see mom going for Mass, or they just see dad, they will think that religion is something optional in life. So prayer matters. We attend Mass together. We say the Rosary if we can together. Sometimes it's not possible because of work, but we can. The weekend maybe it's possible. Me, I was saying the family with the Rosary with my mother. My father was going to work and he was saying it on his side. But evening prayer, always together. And during the weekend, family Rosary together. We are saying the Rosary in the car as we are going for Mass. That was always like that. Sometimes we will say it with the parish. In some parishes, they say the Rosary before the beginning of the Mass. So we will pray the Rosary with the parish and the family. It's beautiful to have these prayers together. The book of Proverbs says, house and riches are given by parents, but a prudent wife is properly from the Lord. And prudence comes if we pray. Prepare for marriage, that is the sixth advice, prepare for marriage by living a Christian life. The way you are before the marriage, the way you will be after. Marriage will not change you in one moment. If we are serious, strongly convinced, good Catholic before the wedding, we will be the same after, and we will even be better, because the sacrament will give us the grace we need to improve. That is very important. Receive Holy Communion worthily and often, go to confession regularly, observe the 10 Commandments, especially the 6th Commandment. If you are faithful before the marriage, you will be faithful after the marriage. Don't think that you will not have temptations anymore after the wedding. They will be there, of course. If you have been faithful before, you will be faithful after. We need, sometimes we think, so from the day I marry, I do what I want, and I don't need to be serious now, I will be serious after my wedding. My wife will help me. It doesn't work like that. If we have not been serious before, we will not be serious after. And I think it is gravely imprudent to marry someone who is not a good Catholic. If you desire to marry someone, but you see this person is not Catholic, don't marry this person tomorrow. Tell them, come and see me in 1 year, okay? Let's see you in 1 year, okay? During this year, if I see you going for Mass, if I see you receiving the sacraments, if I see you learning your catechism and being interested with faith, maybe I will consider, okay? But me, I don't want in my home someone who will lead me to hell. No. That should be our attitude. So we marry someone who will help us to go to heaven. And the time that is preceding marriage is an excellent time for us to double our generosity, double our effort, so that we can be found as holy as possible the day of our marriage. And if we are as holy as possible on this day, we will be holy after. There is no problem, and God will continue to help us. Follow the advice of your parents and your parish priest. It is important to listen to advice from people also when we marry. It is wise to seek advice when making any important decision, but especially when deciding about your partner in this lifelong union. It's common sense. Okay, it's common sense. It is such an important decision to marry. It will involve your full life. That is good to hear some advice. Our parents are not here to choose for us, but they can help us. They have been what we are today, and they know us. They know us better than anybody else. So most of the time, it's prudent to listen to their advice. Okay. Sometimes there can be some issues. Okay. There are some exceptions. Those are. I'm not here to speak about exceptions, but let us listen to their advice. And the same from the parish priest. It's good to hear. The priest also know you, especially if you go in this parish since 20 years. The priest is the one who baptized you, who gave you Holy Communion, who gave you confirmation. He knows you very well. And so he can also advise. He will not make a decision in your place, no worries, but he will just give some advice, and it is wise to listen. It is such an important decision. Many people, they go very quickly without asking for advice, and after 2 years the marriage has broke, and now they are alone, and they are suffering, and they are saying, I wish I could have listened. This person who was giving me this advice. To make a prudent decision, we need to ask for advice. Number 8. If you have questions, feel free to interrupt me. No problem. Number 8. Choose a suitable partner. Choose the right person. Okay. Look for a person who is a good Catholic, really serious. So good Catholic or willing to become Catholic. Okay. If the person is not yet Catholic but want to convert, it's possible. It is a good person. Really serious about having children and founding a Christian home. Don't choose someone who tells you, me, I just want one boy, one girl, and one red fish and one dog. Okay, this is this is what we see. The perfect family in many European countries. During the winter holidays, and we go to Mombasa during summer holidays. This is not having the good attitude. Okay. The good attitude is to be ready to accept all the children God will give us. So during the first year of your wedding, you will go to ski maybe, but after a few years, you will have to stop because you will not be rich enough, and it's fine like that. Okay. Unless you are extremely rich. If you are extremely rich, fine, you can go for ski with your 10 children. There is no problem. But many people cannot do that, and it means that we need to be ready to do some sacrifices. We do not marry for the ski in winter and the beach during summer. We marry for the children, for the family, for heaven. And the person we choose as a partner should have this mindset. We should look for someone who is sincere, truthful, dependable, and chaste. Someone you can trust. I don't know if it is a good idea. I would not have done it myself, but I saw a video. It was shared by a faithful in a Holy Family Basilica. A bishop was celebrating a marriage for many couples, and during the sermon he asked the husband to take their smartphone and to show all their messages to their wives, to their future wives. Okay. If you have chosen the good partner, you should have no problem to do it. Okay, but if you see, I don't think I can show her my messages. Okay, are you sure you have married the good person? Okay, we should not fear our wife or our husband. We are not enemies in the family. We should work hand in hand. If everybody has his own business, does his own things, and doesn't want to share, I don't think it's a very healthy ambience in the family. It's not very healthy. You should trust your wife. You should trust your husband. You are the best friend, and you are more than friend. You are husband and wife. It's very close. Be truthful, be sincere. Don't lie to each other. And you should choose someone who is chaste as well. Someone who can control himself, who values this beautiful virtue of chastity. So choose a good person. Someone who I could add who has faith. Okay, if you fall in love with a Muslim who doesn't want to convert, forget about him. Do not, because it will not end well. It will not end well. If the Muslim want to convert, that's another story. It could be possible. And he will do catechism, he will convert, fine. But if he doesn't want to change his life, after 2 years he will send you to Iran for a holiday, and he will steal your passport, and you will stay there and wear the veil up to the end of your life. These stories are happening often. Okay, and we are as priests, we see them, we witness these kind of things. I know a family. It was in Switzerland when I was seminarian. I was teaching catechism. They did what we call a mixed marriage, but the man always refused to convert. No way. At the beginning, he said, "I promise that my children will go to mass, they will go for catechism, blah 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 blah." After 2 years, he had already changed his mind. And now the wife was really, really struggling and really sad, and she didn't know what to do. The salvation of her children, the soul of her children, was in great danger. And I'm sure, I don't know what is the reality now, it was a few years ago, maybe she had to run away with her 2 children, maybe. And it is not what we want. No, it is not what we want. We want a family united, close together, with mom and dad giving the good example to their children. This is what we want. It is what we want to build when we want to marry, when we want marriage. So it's good to choose a good person. Do not marry too young. Okay, it's prudence. Okay, do not marry too young. This catechism has been made in America for American people. Okay, so here they say today young people under 21, especially men, although capable of marrying and having children, are often still attached to useful pastimes, especially men it seems, and thus may find it extra difficult to adjust to the responsibilities of marriage. I think here we are speaking about maturity, and it's true that we are not mature very early. Usually women are mature before the men. We see that very well in mixed school, by the way. We have a class here, I will not tell you which one. I will speak with the deputy of the school later. You can see the girls are really mature. The boys are on another planet. The boys are still children playing football and speaking about childish things. The girls, you can see they are 2 years above. And we see the same things later. Okay, though it's at a different level, but boys are not. And the modern time we live in are times where we are mature later than compared to the past. In the past, people could marry at 18 and sometimes even before, and it was not long time ago. It was not so long time ago. But nowadays, you can even find people that are in their 30s. They are not mature at all. That's why it's good to wait for the right time to marry, and that's why you need to hear the advice of your parents, of people who know you. Number 10, have the correct attitude towards sex. God created sex to attract husband and wife, to have children, and to cultivate love for one another. So it's not a bad thing. Remember, to refuse intercourse to your married partner is a mortal sin unless you have a serious reason. This is what we saw. From the day you marry, if your partner is asking for having this relation, you cannot say no without a reason. Okay, you cannot say no. But we need to have the correct attitude and also to respect the other, to respect one another. Number 11, accept all the children that God wants to send you. Okay. I'm not saying try to get as many children as you can. No, it's not that. But accept all the children God will give you. Look upon having children as one of the great blessings of marriage. We should not put a limit from the beginning in our mind. One child, one boy, one girl, and one red fish. After, finished. I use contraception until the end of my life. No, it doesn't work like that, and such a marriage will be most probably invalid. It doesn't work. to be invalid. We should not put a limit. God will give you the children you will have. Court record show that there are fewer breakups among couples with large families. Large families, they stay together. Short families, if people have few children because they are selfish, if this is a reason, this marriage, most of the time they break, unfortunately. So we should be generous. And yes, maybe we will not go for ski during the winter holidays. Yeah, maybe. But it's better to have a beautiful family. Who will take care of you when you will be an old man or old woman? Your children. If you have only one boy and one girl who became selfish like us, you think they will take care of you? They will just take you the way they do in Europe in the house for old people, and you will die there alone watching TV. This is what many people do. There is nothing more beautiful than the big families, and many vocations come from big families, because in a big family, yes, you will need to renounce to many things. There are things. Maybe we will live a poorer life than if we were few, but because we practice poverty, because we practice generosity, you will have beautiful souls in your family, and vocations will come from this family. Vocations and future, and you will build in their soul a strong love for God, and you will have saints in your family. Have respect for your partner. We already spoke about that. The person you marry shares in the union that was established by God Himself and raised to the dignity of a sacrament by Christ. We should respect each other. Okay. Your partner is not a toy. Your partner is not an enemy. Your partner is a creature of God, is a temple of the Holy Ghost, and he has the same right as you in front of God. So we really need to have this respect. You husband, likewise, dwelling with them according to knowledge, giving honor to the female as to the weaker vessel, and as to the co-heirs of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. It is what Saint Peter was writing in his epistles. And because of that, number 13, do not fight or argue as much as possible, okay? And if you have to argue, never in front of the children. Never in front of the children. Send them to the grandmother, close the door, now you can speak. Okay? But you should never get mad in front of your children. It's such a bad example. For the same reason, we should never criticize in front of the children. Even if someone deserves what you say. Okay? First of all, it's not good to critique, but if we have to do it for good reason, and if we have to speak about something bad happening for the good of the family, do it, but not in front of the children. Okay? It's such a bad example to critique, to gossip in front of this little one. Married people should learn to control their tempers and to discuss their problems as grown-ups and not as children. Communication is important, and if we have respected this very basic advice from the beginning, for example, to be truthful, to be sincere, if we practice that from the beginning, we'll be able to have a peaceful life. But if we develop this selfishness, if we are not truthful, if we lie, if we do all these things, one day we will explode. We can avoid many problems just by being holy. Communication is very important also in seminary. I heard about, we are given some lessons on how to prepare people for wedding. And they were telling us that we should teach about the duty to sit down. There is a duty to sit down for the husband and the wife. And often, not every day, of course, but sometimes it's very good for the husband to go and invite his wife to the restaurant or to a place that we can afford, and to have time to speak about the family, the projects, ourselves, etc. To take time just for you and her. It is very important to take this time. It is a duty to do it. And the children during this time, no worries, you give them to the auntie. They will have their best evening because the parents are not around, and they will do what they want. Okay, and but it's very important once in a while. He was speaking about once a month, but it depends. To have this time to speak. Because there are many problems that are only in our head. And they are there because we are not communicating. But when you create these opportunities, it can be a dinner, but it could also be a walk. There are so many ways to do it. You speak, you share, you open, and you receive a lot of help, you receive a lot of advice, and many problems disappear by themselves. It's very important. Do not criticize. Well, I said it, I repeat. Criticizing your partner's fault or constantly harping on trifles soon destroy a happy marriage. Okay, don't tell your daughter, never be like your mom. Okay, there's such a. Or the opposite is also true. The mother telling her boy, her son, never be like your dad. Okay, it's not a good example. Do not criticize your partner in front of the children, but do not criticize at all in front of the children. What can happen is parents criticizing the school. It's like that in all the family of the world. And I remember my parents telling me they are trying their best to never do it in front of us. They were telling me, that's my parents were telling me that parents should never criticize the school where they have decided to bring their children in front of the children. Because it's such a contradiction. The child could ask his parents, so why are you bringing me here if you are criticizing this school? Such a bad example. We should teach the children to respect authority. And we do not teach that when we criticize. Maybe there are some problems and we can address these problems, but not in front of the children. And as Jesus says in the Gospel, why sees you the mote that is in your brother's eye, and sees not the beam that is in your own eye? Or how says you to your brother, let me cast the mote of your eye, and behold, a beam is in your own eye? We should change ourselves before to start changing the other. Number 15, trust one another completely. Completely. It is a sin to be jealous or judge without evidence. There is a question you could ask me. Is it prudent to have only one bank account? Okay. It's a very sensitive topic. I'm not saying it's a must, but some families, they have that. Only one bank account. And the husband trusts his wife, and his wife trusts the husband. Sometimes it will be very imprudent to do it, but if we reach this situation, it's very sad. Okay. It's very sad. We should trust each other. I'm not saying it's the best option, but there are some families where it's happening. Okay, it's happening. And why should you fear your wife if she's the one you have chosen to be the mother of your children? Why should you fear your husband if he's the one that you have chosen to be the father of your children? Why should you fear them? That's why it's important to choose the right person at the beginning. Also, we should trust each other. Do not live with your in-laws. Okay? Do not live with your in-laws. You can see the wisdom of the Catholic Church based on experience and facts. Okay? Your first duty is to your married partner, not to your mother anymore. Parents and others come second. Of course, you will have to take care of your family. You should not cut completely and say bye-bye, take care of yourself now. No, it doesn't. But you are married to your wife or to your husband, not to your mother, not to your parents. And so do not live with them. It could be a bit unhealthy at some point. There are many fights. And in Italy, it's very funny. There is a kind of pasta. I've been living in Italy for some time, so I know. A kind of pasta, it's a kind of very long pasta, but like that, a bit distorted, very long. And they know the name of the pasta. It's called the tongue of the mother-in-law, the mother-in-law's tongue. Because it seems she speaks like that, But these problems are happening, because it's good to have this healthy separation. It's even written in the Bible, man shall leave his mother and his father, and shall cleave to his wife. So it's good you can live in the same compound maybe, but not in the same house, unless exceptions, of course. It's just a basic advice. I heard about some culture where when the son marries a lady, they have to live in the house of his mother for a while so that the mother-in-law can teach the young wife how to be a good wife. I don't think it's a very good idea. No, I don't think it's a very good idea. So as you respect your parents and continue to visit them, to listen to their advice and continue being very close, it's good to remember that your first duty is to your family, to your wife, to your husband, and to your children. Do things together as a family. Advice number 17. Husband and wife should find happiness in their own home with their children, and also should associate with other happily married couples. So do things together, pray together, eat together. Go for a walk, do some activities on Sunday if you can. Okay? Sunday should be a day that we spend with the family. We have a nice lunch together. We even try to make this day special. The mother can bake a cake, and after we go for a walk anywhere. We do well. Let's do things together. We play a game, board games together. Okay, we play Uno cards, anything with the children. You can watch a movie. Why not? Let's watch it together. A good one, of course. Let's do things together as a family. And sometimes to associate with other families, as I was telling you at the beginning, is very good also. The children will find good friends, and you also will find good friends and support. It's very healthy, it's very good. Make your home a pleasant place. The wife should make the home a place to which her husband longs to go after his day of work. It should be clean and orderly, and the meals well prepared and on time. Okay. Written for Americans, but it's true what is said here. The wife should make her husband happy to be back at home in the evening, but if each time he comes there is a lot of noise, a lot of disorder, and the food is not even good, he will just go and drink with his friends and come late. It's normal. But so the house should be a pleasant place for everybody. We should all be happy to go back home, okay, and to be there together as a family. It's a common sense, but it's important. Use family money properly. A husband is bound to the complete support of his wife and children. A wife is obliged to use the family money wisely, like the man, everybody. So we cannot buy just because we like it. Okay. I like it, I buy it. Wait, have we paid rent? Have we paid school fees? The children, do they have enough clothes? Winter is coming, do we have warm clothes for the children? You see, we have to use the money wisely, and sometimes we have to renounce. And the last advice, and I finish here, pray together. Pray together. As the saying goes, a family that prays together stays together. And that I can testify it myself with my own family. We are, even with the cousins, during summer, when we go to my grandparents' place, I have 6 aunties and more than 30 cousins. We all go to say the rosary together in the church of the village every day, with those who are around, every day. At 11, we go. I can tell you, the families is still here. Families, people are persevering in faith, and we are together. And it's not because we are the best, it's just because I'm sure of prayers, of praying together. And that it starts with your own little family. Pray with your husband, pray with your wife, and pray with the children that God will give you. And you will stay united, you will keep faith, you will be together. God must be part of your family, and you pray together. Attending Mass and receiving Holy Communion together. The Gospel of St. Matthew says, "Where there are 2 or 3 gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." So those are a few advice that I wanted to read for you. It's part of our catechism program. Next week, I will continue with other advice, and it will be the last lesson about marriage, duties of parents toward their children. Okay, we will continue. We have seen mostly the duties of husband and wife towards each other. Next week we'll see what should we do with the children. And with that we will finish the part about sacraments, and we'll start speaking about the commandments of God. So in 2 weeks' time we will start speaking about the commandments of God with the first one. we have, for those who are new here, we have a cycle of, in our catechism. Catechism has 4 pillars. We speak about what we need to believe, that is a creed, and we have studied the Apostle Creed already, so we'll start next time again. Then we have prayer, second pillar. Prayer will help us to do what is right and to believe in what is right. The sacraments, they will give us the grace of God and help us to do our duty. And the fourth pillar are the commandments of God. It is what we need to do to go to heaven. And this is what we'll speak about very soon. If you have some question, I will be happy to answer them after the Mass. Let us pray.